Alright, so today we are here and we are going to enter into the worst slums of Kampala, Uganda. Anyways, guys, fingers crossed, hope I come back alive. So if you haven't subscribed already, please kindly consider subscribing, liking and commenting. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified about any video I put up. Bye! Hey lovely people, today we are going to try to enter into Katanga slum area, which is one of the biggest slums in Uganda. Actually, this one is the biggest slum in Uganda. Today let's try to check it out. Let's see what really happens here, how people live here, like what they really do, how they survive. Let's check out the situation of this place. But anyways guys, these are one of the places in Uganda which are never safe. The slum areas in Uganda are never safe because a lot happens in these slum areas. People do different activities here. There are a lot of bad people in these areas, so they are actually not safe at all. But anyways, fingers crossed, let's get in and see what really happens in these areas. Alright, I want you to go along with me and let me show you around. Actually, in these areas, people don't really mind about their way of living. They don't care about anything because they live like the place is really dirty. They don't care if it's dirty. They add trash in that trench whenever they want. They don't care if it will cause diseases. They don't care if it will affect them anyhow. They just don't care. People who live in such places in Uganda are people who are really tired and they don't mind about anything in life. But actually, it's not all about that. These are the low income earners in Uganda, in that they survive on the daily bread they get every day. If someone can afford what to eat, then she doesn't care about anything else. As long as she eats, she has shelter, that's all they care about. So in these places, people don't really mind because you can see the place is really dirty, but they throw trash anywhere and everywhere, and they don't really mind if it will cause them diseases or if it will affect them. They don't really care. A lot of businesses are operated in such areas. People do different businesses. People sell food, people sell drinks, they do everything, but they don't care if the place is dirty. Someone eats from anywhere, even though the place is dirty, they don't really mind. They live in that kind of situation whereby they don't have what to do, or let's say they don't really care because they even can't afford to stay in some good places. That's why they don't care, because all they care about is the survival every day. As long as someone survives for a day, he or she just waits for the next day. So they don't really mind, or they don't really care. Katanga slum area is really, really big. It has a lot of corners. It has a lot of corridors, which you have to be curious about when you even visit this place, because in some corridors you can end up in maybe in a bad situation. Let's say you end up in a house of someone who is doing something else. So it's not really safe to pass through these corridors, because there are some corridors where there are no people at all, whereby something can happen to you. So I took a risk because I really want to show you around these areas in Uganda. And I also want to check them out to see how people live in such areas. So guys, go along with me. Let's try to go deep inside and check out the different houses, the different corridors, to see the situation of the people in such areas. People in such areas are the people who give birth a lot. They have a lot of kids. They don't care about the situation they are in. They just go on and have as many kids as they want. And anyways, no one tries to educate them about anything, so they don't really care. They go on to have as many kids as they want, even though they are living in a bad condition, and they have kids that don't even go to school. that don't even go to school. You can see someone has a business in his or her own house and operates the business inside the house. That's how they manage to survive in this area. Always be cautious about these corridors, because they are corridors that are not really good. Like, it's not safe to pass through them. But you can see there is trash everywhere. It's like people don't care about being clean in here, and they just put trash like anywhere they want. Actually, if it rains, it's in this area that's the worst part, because if it rains, the area is always flooded. There is water everywhere, there's trash everywhere, and most of the people in this area sometimes don't have actual toilets, which actually makes them sick, but they don't mind.
Actually, this place is kind of scary. It's not safe. And this is the biggest slum in Uganda. It's the biggest slum in Uganda, but it's not actually safe because there are people doing different activities.
You can see the congestion in the houses, and people here, they have like single rooms, which like a one room, which is the bedroom and the sitting room, and someone stays in a one room and has over 7 children. They don't really care about like how many kids they have. They just give birth every time. Actually, I was so lucky on my trip to this place. It's like I didn't really meet anything bad. Nothing really happened to me. And even though I got lost on my way, someone was able to direct me out. It's like I found kind people here. But anyways, I was still cautious about my movements, about the corridors I enter to. So I was always cautious about my movements. But anyways, this is part of the view of the place, but let's go on and check out the other part as well. This is the biggest slum. It's really, really big. A lot of the kids in these areas actually don't even go to school. Go to school because their parents can't really afford to take them to school. They grow up in such areas. At the end of the day, they end up growing when they're really not good kids. Like, they enter into like bad activities, let's say robbery or some other bad activities, and the girls, they end up getting pregnant early. There's a lot of early pregnancies in such areas. But anyways, guys, this is the perfect view of the place, like part of the view of the place. And this is the biggest trench where they pour like trash every time. They pour everything in here, which is not really good because it can cause you a lot of diseases. Mosquitoes can give birth from there, which can cause like malaria, it can cause cholera, it can cause diarrhea, but they don't really mind about anything. Anyways, I believe these people need to be educated about hygiene, about anything. Maybe this place can really change for the better in future. Anyways, guys, that was my trip in this Katanga area. That is how Katanga area looks like. This is one of the biggest slums in Uganda. It's always occupied by low-income earners because it's actually cheap to stay in this place. The houses are really cheap since they're not that good. So people take advantage of the fact that this is really cheap. They can stay here and they don't have that too much money to pay like to stay in the city or to stay in the good areas. Alright guys, that was it for today. This is the real view of this place. You can see the biggest trench, the houses. So that's it for today.
Alright guys, so that's it for today. Actually, it's never safe to visit this place. Like the people's ways of living, the things they do here, like never put yourself at risk coming to this place. Anyways, that's it for today. And if you haven't subscribed, please kindly consider subscribing, liking and commenting, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified about the other video I put.